Hi, everybody. It's Pat Love from EXP Realty. I'm here today with Diane Rolston. She's a business advisor, coach, author, motivational speaker, and the list goes on. So we're very lucky to have Diane to take some time out of her day to talk to us. So how are you today, Diane?
I'm good. Thanks for asking, Pat, and thanks for having me here.
Oh, you're welcome.
Exciting to have
You're
a
welcome.
chat.
I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say. So why don't you, the list is endless, so let's target what you want to talk about today and share how you became where you are now.
Well, that could be a long journey if I share it all, but let's just go with this, that I am on a mission to help mainly women to be able to have a balanced life, but also be able to make the money and have the freedom that they want. And so I do this in a couple of ways. One, I can do the personal coaching where I support women to get clarity on like, what do they need to be working on and how can they be happier in their lives and how can they have more fulfillment? Because sometimes we have that moment when we're like, oh, there's just something not right and there's something more I want.
Mm-hmm.
And so, or maybe there's so much going on that they just want to like streamline and not be so overwhelmed. And the other side of things is that I work with female business owners, female leaders, to help them to get really clear on what is it that they want to be working on in their business, the strategy to be able to push that forward, the accountability to make it happen. So with both sides, clarity is huge, the confidence to be able to step into it and to have the support to do that, and then the action plan that is tangible and doable, all the kind of steps that go along with that. So I do that work, as you said, in coaching. I also do that as a professional speaker from stage. I also have a women's community called Dynamic Women Global Club. I have a podcast called Dynamic Women, where I love to do what you're doing here, interview other women, as well as kind of go live about some of the behind the scenes in my life that aren't so rosy and happy and talk about like the truth of how hard it is to run a business, have kids, and just deal with life.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I can't believe you do it. That's a lot.
Some days I don't, and my house just, I was like yesterday, I was like, enough is enough. It's been atrocious in my home. And so I tell my clients, when life gets busy, you have to think as you're juggling, which glass balls do you have to make sure that you keep your eye on, that you keep in the air, and which of those balls you're juggling can hit the ground and bounce because they're rubber. So some areas of life, where there are 10 areas of life, some of the areas you can kind of put into maintenance mode and just not focus on them right now, but you need to know when to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And how to be able to do that. And so I'd say I have been able to, for the most part, be able to figure that out quite well.
A very hard thing for women to do because we just put so much pressure on, especially now. Do everything our mothers did, plus go out to work full time.
Yeah, there are a lot of pressures on us. And I think that comes from that superwoman syndrome where we feel like we have to be the best mother, wife, daughter, friend, business owner, or employee, whatever it may be. And the list goes on, right? Who you are at church, Girl Guide leader, all the different roles that we can have.
Mm-hmm.
But the key thing is that we need to just step into being ourselves. Screw the titles. They confine us, they define us into this small space. When we can just show up as ourselves, that never changes. One day, God forbid, we become a widow. We're not a wife anymore. Or we get older and our kids get older too, and we're not the needed mom. Mm-hmm. Or we lose the job, or we sell the business, or whatever it may be. The title, the loss of the title can create huge grief. But if we're standing more in who we are, we can bring that to every single area of our life. And then we're the only ones doing it. So we're not competing against we're not competing against anyone else, because we're just ourselves. We can be an expert at it, even if we're new in a position. If we're just ourselves and that's the goal, then it doesn't matter that we're new in it.
Yeah, you don't fail at it if you're being yourself, because how can you fail at being yourself? Okay, so let's move on and talk about this lovely thing that we're in, the pandemic, which has brought some positivity. It has brought some positivity, but I'd like to know how it's affected your business and what you've done to adjust, and if you
Yeah.
have any advice for any other business owners.
Yes, thanks. So actually, I do a lot of live events with Dynamic Women. I do live events. I also run business success seminars live. I do masterminds live. I do all this work live in person with others. And so I was actually in Ontario at that time. I had a community event. I had my mastermind. I had an elite coaching group meeting, all this stuff happening in 1 week. And this is also the time where I present my next offer and I invite people to work with me more. And so that week is about 50% of my cash flow and my residual income for my business. That week needed to get shut down the Sunday night before.
Oh, wow.
So it's not even just like pivot, it's everything that was building for me in working with my clients, in inviting people to events, everything that was building, gone, rug pulled out from under me. And then to add on to that, then my father passed away, went into palliative care and passed away in August. And so it's like, and then the fog, whatever, moved in. So I was like, really, like all these things. And then my Facebook account was disabled. So like gone.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I just have to laugh at it. So I very quickly was like, okay, so this is my business plan, my business strategy. And so this is where my advice comes in. How do I now transition this to fully online? And does it work? And so I had to ask myself that. The goals I had set, do they still work online? Most of them did, no problem. But what else do I need to do now in order to be in this solely virtual market, in order to be competitive, in order to stand out? And so I had to rejig my marketing efforts. But the biggest thing that I would really just say to people is, you got to focus on you and you got to make sure you're good. Because no matter what you do in your marketing and your sales and in your job or anything, if you're not able to show up fully, because some people, like you said, how do you do it all? Because I focus on how can I show up? How can I be fully myself? And I have some really cool ideas too about how to bring in that same level of in-person engagement into all of my online events. So in my online community, in my Dynamic Women events, and in the upcoming launch of the Dynamic Women Confidence Secrets book and the Confidence Summit, I've got some really, really creative ideas. So 3 questions that people can ask themselves. How can I do it? So we go into that like, oh, I can't, oh, this got canceled. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that because of COVID and this. Well, what can you do? So there are 3 questions that really people can ask themselves. How can I do it? So can I do it this way? Can I do it that way? Can I do it that way? Then look at other people and ask, how are they doing it? Because if they're having success, you should model after success. How are they doing it? Look at all the different people. Then come back to yourself, because you want to choose the way that's in alignment with you and ask, how will I do it? The way you're actually going to commit to doing it, and looking at all the different ways, what feels right? What feels good for you? Then you take that on. And then the 4th question is, how will I do it again? And that's not like, we get in perfectionist mode. We're like, oh, I didn't do this right. I didn't do this right. And I'm speaking from someone who has been in that position many times. And instead I ask myself, how will I do it again? How will I do it next time? Because that grabs the learning from it. I'll still do this part. That was good. I want to change this. I'll tweak this, and then I'll make this adjustment. So those are the 4 questions that everyone should be asking themselves in the pivot of their business, or even in pivoting life.
Yeah, that's really good advice. I wanted to say that I have been to a couple of your events, and they're wonderful. You always have great things to share. So I can recommend for sure. If Diane has something to offer, it will be good quality.
Oh, thank you.
So let's go on to, how can we help Diane during this season of giving? What can we do to help out your situation?
Yeah, I think for me and really for any entrepreneur is share their stuff, comment on their material that they're sharing on Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it may be, and share with others. That's the easiest, simplest thing you can do to all entrepreneurs. So this video, even that Pat is sharing, this interview that she's taking time to do, share this, tag someone that you know so that they can get this information as well. But for me, I have events coming up. This is the Dynamic Women's Success Secrets book. We still have copies of that. That came out in 2019. And in 2020, the Dynamic Women Confidence Secrets book is coming out. So I encourage everyone to pick up a copy of it because I'm featuring in it the story of many entrepreneurial women or many professional women who have secrets and stories to share about confidence. And I think COVID-19 has just kind of taken the wind out of many people's sails, made you feel a bit less confident and maybe not like yourself. And so to get that book, I encourage you to read it, to be inspired by others, to be really pushed to see like, well, how can other people do things and how have other people been able to build their confidence? And in doing that, I see that the readers will also feel that kind of boost of confidence themselves. So I encourage you to pick up a copy of the book, not just to support me, but to support all the women that are in the book and yourself. Really, like give a gift to yourself. And so you can grab that at dianerolston.com/confidence-book. And you'll also be able to find out more about the Confidence Summit if you're watching this in a good amount of time in advance of it. January 22nd and 23rd is the Confidence Summit. And December 16th, we've got a really fun event called the Confidence Party, or Confidence the Party. And we're donating every single dollar to charities. And so the charities that are really on my heart are women's shelters and family services. And so there's 4 different charities. And so we're just asking for a minimum of a $10 donation to be able to be involved in that event, which is also going to be a super fun event where it's a great event for you if you're looking to connect with others, to kind of have a positive end to 2020. This will be fully interactive, that event. And so I encourage everyone to participate in it. And with the money going to charity, especially women's shelters, now's the time for us to give back. And I believe everyone can give $10 to one of those charities, or, be generous and give 100 or 50 or something like that. And just a really good time to come together.
It is definitely. So what I will do, everyone, is at the end of this video, I will post Diane's website. Anyway, I think we can wind this up and thank Diane for her time. Thank you very much. You shared some nice little nuggets of helpful information. And I look forward to actually getting to see you at a real live event one day.
Yeah, that'd be great. And otherwise, I love going live in my Dynamic Women Global Club, the Facebook group. And that's free for any woman. Guys, I love you too. I love you. But this is just a place for the women to hang out. And probably you don't want to hear our conversations.
Probably not.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Pat, for taking the time to feature business owners like myself.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you, Diane.